for joining me on the My Senses, My Space podcast. And today I wanted to talk about compassion. And the definition of compassion is when you're feeling another person's pain and wanting to take steps to relieve their suffering. I kind of see compassion as needing to be redefined a little bit. So that is like the dictionary's version of that and what the most common agreed upon definition of that word is. But I think there's several steps when we are feeling compassion for ourselves and others that are in between that. So at first there is this empathy, right? You are looking at a situation from another person's point of view. Maybe you're seeing how you have experienced something similar and can relate on a lot of things, or it could be that you had never thought of something that way and you are getting to experience and think about things from their point of view. But I think there's steps between that and then taking action. So in our brain, we are coming to an understanding, and that in itself is a process of going, okay, here I am, here is another person or a group of people. How can I understand this situation? How can I more deeply understand it? Even if I can never truly experience it myself, how do I understand it to the fullest of my own ability? Then there's an acceptance of it all, of you are just this one person who can also inspire other people, but you are still just one person who can take action. So looking at you can't rescue people, you can't just go and save people. You have your limitations and you have a purpose for taking those actions. So, and that purpose can't be because it makes you feel better. We can't, and that's part of saving people, is that we go around going, okay, I see suffering, I see it here and here. What can I do? Because when I see suffering, it affects me so deeply. Now, there are truly people who are highly sensitive, and whenever they are around people with big emotions or going through hard things, they're like, oh my goodness, it feels like I'm in their shoes. We're not fully, but you can really feel deeply into those emotions. And sometimes it's so scary that we want to jump out of it as quickly as possible. It's like touching a hot stove or a hot pan or something. It's like, ow, that hurts. All I want to do is to make this go away, when our response should be more understanding and taking the time and understanding when things are systemic and that it's all over in society, and us as just one person can't fix that overnight. We can't just make that all go away, but we can be inspiration to others, and we can take our own actions to take steps into action. So as you can see, I'm just trying to stretch this all out to kind of show like there's this space in between, this space that you can sit for a while and say, this is what I'm witnessing. This is what I'm understanding, taking the time to understand. It doesn't all have to happen in a moment either. We can experience this over time so that we can kind of align ourselves or get us headed in a direction that we can help with taking action to alleviate suffering in the world. So this is like what you're seeing when you are seeing someone else go through this, but we can also have compassion for ourselves. So sometimes our own suffering is invisible. We don't realize we're going through these moments of just complete pain at times, because our brains just want to be in denial, or they just there's so many steps in between that go denial, or we try to intellectualize it, or we try to, say it's, well, that's denial. Say it's not happening as denial. But we have this myriad of things of just trying to push it away instead of inviting it in and looking at ourselves and going, oh, okay, let me just observe what's going on with myself so I can have compassion. Drawing that process out a little bit more so that we can fully understand it, comprehend it. Like, where did this come from? Is this from my past? Is this something that's become a habit for me, but it's not serving me? Maybe it's an outlook on life. It could be any of these things. So how do we stretch that out, create this space of compassion for ourselves so then we can alleviate our own suffering, or inviting others to help us through that process of alleviating our suffering, so we don't have to go alone in terms of compassion. Excuse me. So I hope that kind of helps to kind of think about, what does this process of compassion actually mean for others and for myself? And in the long run, it's really about community. It's really about extending ourselves out to form a web of community, and also inviting in existing webs, existing friendships, colleagues, community outside, like just your neighborhood, asking for help and saying, you know what, it's not a weakness to ask for help, it's a strength. And to invite that in to see if that can alleviate suffering for yourself and others. So I hope that helps, and would love to hear what your perspective is on compassion. Until next time, thank you for joining me on My Senses, My Space.